You know what's strange? Ambitious men aren't lazy. They're not unfocused. They're not weak. In fact, the most ambitious men are often the ones who procrastinate the most. Not because they don't care, but because they care too much. There's a man named Adrian. On the outside, he looked driven. Big goals, sharp mind, high standards. But privately, he was stuck. He would sit at his desk, staring at his laptop, unable to start. Not because he didn't know what to do, but because he was terrified of doing it wrong. People told him just start. They didn't understand that starting was the hardest part, because when an ambitious man starts, he doesn't want to start small. He wants perfection on the first try. And that's the trap. Procrastination isn't the avoidance of work. It's the avoidance of imperfection. Adrian didn't delay because he was lazy. He delayed because his mind would rather imagine a perfect outcome than risk creating a flawed reality. So he lived in the thinking phase, planning, imagining, preparing, but never stepping into the arena. One night, something changed. He was sitting on the floor of his apartment. Papers everywhere, a half-finished resume on the table, and an untouched list of goals pinned to the wall. He realized something brutal. I am more in love with the idea of my potential than the work required to reach it. That admission broke him, not emotionally, mentally, because he finally saw procrastination for what it truly was, a love affair with potential. Potential asks for nothing. Reality demands everything. Potential is painless. Reality hurts. Potential feels safe. Reality exposes you. But the world doesn't reward potential. It rewards execution. So Adrian tried something new. He stopped trying to feel ready. He stopped trying to prepare the perfect plan. He stopped trying to build the entire staircase. He chose one step, one small action, one movement. And for the first time, he didn't judge himself for the size of the step. He only judged whether he took it. That was the breakthrough. The truth is this: ambitious men don't fail because the goal is too big. They fail because their first step is too big. The mind sees that huge step and says, "Not today." So the day passes, then another, and eventually the man believes he has a problem with discipline, when in reality he has a problem with expectation. Procrastination isn't a time issue, it's a pressure issue. Adrian learned that the cure wasn't motivation, it wasn't discipline, it wasn't inspiration, it was lowering the entry point. Instead of trying to finish the book, he wrote one paragraph. Instead of trying to transform his body, he walked for 10 minutes. Instead of trying to build the entire business, he completed one email. Momentum did what motivation couldn't. And here's the part most men never learn. Procrastination doesn't disappear when you become stronger. It disappears when the first step becomes smaller. Because once the first step is small enough, you run out of excuses. And once you start, the fear dissolves, the fog clears, the pressure fades, and the ambitious man becomes unstoppable. So hear this clearly. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need a perfect moment. You don't need the perfect mood. You just need the smallest possible step, taken consistently, without negotiation. Ambition gives you the destination. Action gives you the life.